WrestleManiacs. My name's Max. I'm a wrestling fan, wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And we are back today with another, well, I was about to say AEW Dynamite review, and we're weaving in the Dynamite review with a AEW Double or Nothing 2022 prediction show. It's only right. I always have Gigi and NK involved when it's prediction time anyway. You guys know they're regulars here when it comes to the reviews now. So yeah, we're all gonna just kind of tackle the Dynamite review and the prediction show at one time today. Before we get into it, how are we doing, boys? We're looking forward to the show. How do you think of Dynamite overall last night?
I think it's one of the best episodes of Dynamite I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I saw you tweeting. You were really high on it last night.
I very much enjoyed it. Like every segment was like decent to great. So yeah, and it's definitely made me more excited for Double or Nothing. At first, I was of course I was gonna watch anyway, but I was like, But then after certain programs and certain segments, I'm really high on Double or Nothing. So yeah, I'm excited.
Cool, Gigi, what are you thinking?
I can't wait. I can't wait, bruv. Like, honestly, like, we get these pay-per-views very rarely with AEW, so, like, it's just always exciting. Like, I'm sure I'm going to get in, like, the perfect snacks and make a perfect little evening of it. Make sure I've got everything, couple Red Bulls on the go, and I'm
gonna put the light down low, turn on the Luther Vandross.
Get me.
I hear it. Yeah.
Marvin Gaye. Get it right. Marvin Gaye.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this pay-per-view because, yeah, with the AEW pay-per-views, they're just so, few and far between. Like, so it always makes you look forward to it. Again, they've produced a great card with fresh matchups, which is obviously a very hard thing to do. Or maybe it's not that hard, that we're just used to seeing the same old from WWE. So yeah, this is looking like a good card. There are a few, kind of unpredictable scenarios on the card, which is always nice. I think the fact of Forbidden Door, the pay-per-view, literally in a month's time from today, I think it is kind of nicely hanging over Double or Nothing like a cloud. Like, so something from there could happen as well. We might see something. But talking about it, let's start with what happened in regards to a New Japan, somewhat of an invasion. We saw, because I guess this is the only thing that's not really on the card. And I do feel a way about FTR not being on this card. I can't lie. But yeah, I guess there's no story for it. FTR were facing Roppongi Vice, Trent and Rocky Romero. And then we saw the invasion. Great O'Khan, Jeff Cobb, these guys ran in, collapsed everything, everyone, put people through tables, all sorts. Looking at picking up the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. They're making their claim. Obviously, FTR and Roppongi Vice have both mentioned in recent weeks they have interest in the New Japan Tag Team Championship. So these men have basically entered the fray. What did you lot think of this segment?
I was so happy. Like, unfortunately, like, I try and avoid spoilers, but I end up catching something out the corner of my eye, and I saw Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan. I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh my days, yes!" Like, I just find it like wonderfully confusing. Like that we can just have these people from New Japan come to AEW, hold up the Ring of Honor straps. Like, I tweeted it earlier. And I think I can say it with chest. Like, this is like the greatest time to be a wrestling fan. Like, there's so, maybe not if you're a WWE fan, but like everywhere else, yeah, it's just popping off. Like, matches that we didn't think could happen are just happening willy-nilly. Like, even FTR versus Roppongi Vice is a match that, is a not a dream match, but it's a match that a lot of people you'd think we'd never would have seen. And now we've got Jeff Cobb walking through the Forbidden Door and Great O'Khan, and just, you know what that means, who's coming next. Like, it's just crazy, and I just love how unpredictable it's becoming. And that, a tag team of that ilk, that, they're a strong team. They've recently won the IWGP heavyweight titles, and for them to just bowl through and go, yeah, we want these now, because they can and because everything's open, it's just such a sick time to be a wrestling fan. And anytime I get to see more Jeff Cobb is always good.
NK, what are you saying?
Yeah, first and foremost, before we get to segment, I want to give a shout out to Caprice. Caprice, who's on commentator, Ring of Honor commentator.
Yeah.
He's a very good commentator. He's actually like I was like, I wouldn't mind him on Dynamite, like in the future, but obviously he's doing his thing at Ring of Honor. But yeah, so big up him. But when
sorry to cut you off, but he was just proper like nailing about how Roppongi Vice have been, tag team champs before 4 times, and
selling them. Yeah,
Rocky Romero's been like a tag champ with so many different people. Like, it's important that they nail that history, man. He was really good.
Yeah, 100%. So when Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan came out, I literally went, oh! That's the literal I did on camera. That's literally what I did on camera. And then the reports are, I don't know if it's been officially announced, but like dirt sheets and stuff are saying that it might be Chase Owens and Farley versus O'Khan and Cobb at Dominion for the actual tag for the IWGP tag titles. And with how much they were putting over the IWGP tag titles in the match, are we going to get title versus title? And I feel like if there's any titles that could switch over that can be handed to like different people, it's definitely the tag titles in terms of either the ROH or the IWGP tag titles. And yeah, like when we were dream booking Forbidden Door, I never thought of O'Khan and Cobb versus FTR. But once that segment happened, I was like, yeah, like it makes a lot of sense. Like it makes a lot of sense, and that's something I would definitely like tune in to see. So like, yeah, just them coming in was, and I was happy that this gave me a little bit of faith for Forbidden Door. Of course, the card can still, turn out good or bad, but it's like, they're trying something new and exciting, and this is a matchup that, that people didn't expect, but still will grab people's attention. So listen, we're definitely going to see more and more invasions. For the people who don't like debuts and who don't like run-ins, I'm so sorry. The next month, don't watch AEW.
Next month is going to be chaotic.
A revolving door.
It's going to be them in. It's going to be people coming in. It's going to be boy. But
it's going to be just like a house party that gets out of control, man. And just like, I don't even know who these people are. They're coming into the yard. Like, that's what it is.
That's literally what it is.
Do you think there's like, because obviously Rocky Romero is so like heavily involved in the New Japan office. Do you think there's part of this is like, right, FTR, little audition, get you in there with Rocky before they like get involved in the New Japan?
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Come like see me first, innit?
He's very much embedded in there, like you said. FTR have been very vocal about they want to go there and they want to wrestle these people and they want this championship. So yeah, why wouldn't it be?
And I was speaking to Knowledge, big up Knowledge every time. Speaking to Knowledge earlier today, and he was saying that New Japan, like, if they're very much keen on having like a lot of Western wrestlers back at New Japan, especially for Wrestle Kingdom. They're very keen on like if this relationship goes well, especially AEW guys, they're very keen on them, being at Wrestle Kingdom. So this Forbidden Door thing could be like the beginning of a wider story they're trying to tell. So I can definitely see FTR and a lot of these guys going to Japan, especially now travel restrictions are pretty much gone now. They can go to Japan January 5th and then come back a couple of days later for AEW. So definitely like I see this relationship being something that we see for the foreseeable future.
I saw someone I would say it's a bit of a complaint. I think it's down to maybe just not knowing and just maybe being such a WWE focused person. But I did see someone today making a comment about, how come on AEW they're fighting for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships and the commentators from Ring of Honor and then New Japan guys come in and stuff like that. And it was just a thread that I was reading on Twitter. And someone said, do you know that outside of WWE, this kind of behavior is wrestling?
Normal.
Yeah. People go from Impact, and Impact have had Ring of Honor champions, and Ring of Honor guys, New Japan have been on New Ring of Honor. Like, this is
The
what
AAA
happens.
tag titles, for example, as well.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. I don't necessarily think the person's complaining. I think it's just a lack of knowledge of knowing that outside of WWE, this kind of
Tag
stuff is
teams
very
matter.
fluid. It happens. All of this, like,
All the
people
time.
go everywhere all the time. So yeah. I mean, I
'Cause-
wanted to just talk. Go on, sorry.
Because before it was AEW, it was Ring of Honor with New Japan. Before it was Ring of Honor New Japan, it was Global Force with New Japan. Before Global Force, it was Impact with New Japan.
Impact, yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. Like, this is wrestling. Like, these companies collaborate, cross promote. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the wrestling universe, it's the multiverse out here. Wrestling's the multiverse. Everyone's gonna collaborate. The WWE, come join. We want you to join as well. Come and join. Come join the members. Come.
Members, they never will. Ola, big up Ola. He said, bad luck Fale is stinky, he can't lie. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on this particular segment because obviously none of these guys currently are going to be on the pay-per-view card. Before we get to the pay-per-view, I read something today that said that there is a basketball match happening at the same time as the pay-per-view. And potentially the basketball match it could go into overtime or whatever. Maybe it's a final or something, right? And Tony Khan has said to his trusted aides backstage that he will not start the main event while that basketball match is still on. Meaning that potentially matches could be added to the card, segments could be added to the card to basically long out the card to avoid the basketball match being on at the same time as AEW, particularly the main event. What's your thoughts on that?
So that's a dangerous way to book a show, man. Like, you can't be like, I'm all for like where he's kept it kayfabe before and a match has gone quick and he's, you know, right, we've got these two waiting to come out. I can't remember the exact scenario, but he's done that before. But now you're playing with fire trying to do that and have eventually 7-hour pay-per-view. I don't know how basketball games work, but like, is it going to go to penalties? I don't know how it works.
So I'm actually somebody who's, I wouldn't say I'm a huge basketball fan, but I'm keeping up with the current season of basketball. And if that's the case, it's not even a final. It's a conference final, more like a semi-final game.
Okay.
So it's not even like because basketball works in series. It's not even like the final game of that series. Because I think he's talking about the Boston Celtics game. Okay. But I don't know if that report is true. If it is true, then that's very naive of Tony because the two have nothing to do with each other. Basketball's on regular television. This is a pay-per-view. If somebody's obviously, people stream pay-per-views, whatever. But if you've paid for a pay-per-view, the chances of you changing the channel is highly unlikely. Do you know what I'm saying? This isn't like regular TNT television where people can just channel hop. Like, this is a pay-per-view, and this is a pay-per-view that's been built to. So I doubt that's the case. And even talking about AEW pay-per-view length, because there's been obviously different conversations about how long pay-per-views have gone. I've actually read a report that the pay-per-view times haven't differed that much. They've always been around 3 hours 45 to 3 hours 50. Like, from like, I think early 2020 to up until Revolution. I just think what makes cards feel long is obviously match order, match structure, and card placement. Some matches are given too much time, some matches are given too little time, and the placement of the card. But yeah, Tony, no, don't do that. Like, put out the card you intended to put and then go about your business.
The report is so I think basically that there is about 90% truth in the report.
Okay.
It's factual that there is a potential that Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin, this is from Fightful, by the way. Darby Allin and Kyle O'Reilly can be added to this card because I think Kyle O'Reilly took out Sting. That's why Sting's injured. So that could be like a potential match they add to the card to help, you know, create this thing, longing it out basically, as well as obviously they could consider putting their usual, is it Casino Battle Royal on the pre-show or something like that, or on the main card to stretch things out. So
the Casino Battle Royal thing, that makes a lot more, especially if that's on the pre-show. Yeah, you can do that and then maybe start the pay-per-view at a later time. That's fine. But
I don't
don't.
know how you put a casino battle royale together. Like, we need to waste.
Nah,
How many
that
people
roster's
have
bloated.
like
You can
that?
put anyone.
Yeah, it's just hey,
Yeah.
you man in the back, come through.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
Put your food down. I need you out there. Like,
Yeah,
you're number
we'll
27.
see. We'll see how it goes anyway. I mean, like I said, it's something that he's considering. They just don't know if he's going to do it yet. So, yeah, we'll move. But yeah, talking about the pre-show, so we'll kind of start with the first thing that's been announced for the card. It is Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. I feel like this guy's been dying to get into the ring ever since he turned up. So now's his chance. I can't really say I'm invested in this match. I think it's pretty obvious who probably comes out on top. But yeah, what are you man thinking?
You know what? I'm actually excited to see Hook face an actual wrestler. And I know the other guys he faced were wrestlers, but an actual like somebody who can get offense and like it'll be good to see Hook in the actual match. And you know what? I know Hook and Danhausen are gonna win, but I would love Tony Nese to pin Danhausen again and actually set up a one-on-one Hook and Tony Nese on a Dynamite or a Rampage and just have. Because I think Tony Nese, we all know, is a good wrestler, and I would like to see something other than the usual squashes we get from Hook, and get let's see Hook sell a little bit. Let's see Hook have a competitive matchup. But in terms of the match itself, I mean, I don't have any expectations. Like it's just whatever to be.
GG, what do you think?
I like it, man. It's a bit of fun to start the event off. Hookhausen is over with the crowd, like whether people are invested or not, like the crowd love it. And I kind of enjoy this whole Mark Sterling being a representative for a few different. It just gives me like Bobby Heenan vibes, like old school kind of vibes. So I don't mind it. And yeah, I just think it would just be a bit of fun to start the show. It won't go long, and I think what NK said would be a great result, but I do think it will be Hookhausen for the win to like start the crowd like pumped and happy.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's fairly obvious. About getting the crowd pumped. Obviously, we don't know quite yet what the order of these matches will be, but obviously, I assume this will be on the main card. So we'll start with this. This is the trios tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks versus the champions Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Jurassic Express. The triple threat match, let's start from there, that they had on Dynamite last night was terrific. I thought I was back watching PWG or something. Like this was this. I watched this and I said, why aren't these men fighting for the TNT
title?
Like, what is this?
Like, boy, I don't get it, but at least but I was like, when I saw Ricky Stark. By the way, did you see the interaction Ricky Starks had with a fan?
Yeah,
when he missed jumping on, was it
Jungle
Boy?
Now on Swerve, wouldn't he? Missed him, and then
was it Swerve? Okay,
yeah. But no, that match was honestly, I was like I was invested before, but then that one was like, like the job is done. I'm invested. Like, take me to Double or Nothing now.
But how smart booking is it though to put that triple threat on, knowing that these three men are obviously a member of each team from the event? Like the triple threat was always going to bang, and then we've still got the face off after of the three hosses.
Big
like
men.
it just like it was so well booked. Like I know it was kind of the whole Jurassic Express stuff is a bit difficult to negate because their run hasn't been great, and this match seems to have been kind of thrown together. But this is probably one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most, maybe aside from the main event. And yeah, like I am so pumped for this, and I need my boys Team Taz to win those straps. And I hope, because Starks took the pin from Swerve, that means that will obviously mean that Swerve and Keith Lee aren't going to win, and Starks and Hobbs are going to take those belts, man. I wish they let that moment marinate where Hobbs came out and like Luchasaurus were facing off, man, because it was too quick to kind of get into a tussle. I wanted the crowd to go, oh.
So I was thinking today when I was watching this match in this segment, I was thinking, have AEW been doing that typical math of, if you get pinned at the go home show, then the chances are you're gonna win in the actual pay per view. I don't know if they've really been doing that.
Don't think
I haven't
they
paid
have.
attention to it.
Yeah, neither have I. So,
because I
But the fact that you haven't noticed that it is the case is possibly telling. Do you know what I mean? Because over other sides, you might think, oh, he's lost, he's definitely going to win. But the fact that we don't think that is probably telling that that's not the case, I would say.
Yeah.
But also, as well with AEW, so they don't usually have if there's a match at a pay-per-view, the opponents they rarely ever face off with each other, and it's usually just they rarely even touch. Like, even if it's a physical altercation outside of a match, they rarely even touch. It's usually just a verbal disagreement or pull apart brawl that ends equally. So
that's true.
But I know there's somebody out there that's probably got a statistic saying this many times, that many times.
yeah.
I don't know. Like I haven't noticed personally myself. So, but yeah, I'm very excited. I'm happy Swerve got the pin. I'm happy Swerve got is that his first? No, that's not his first. I think that's his first singles win on Dynamite. I think
maybe
because I know he's won on Rampage against Tony Nese and others, but I think that's his first singles win on Dynamite. But that match. That's how you do a triple threat match. Always, everything should be moving. Nobody was outside in the ring for too long.
You've said it, because that was it. Like, there was none of that typical, I'm going to sleep for 5 minutes while these men do their spots, and then I'll come back in. Like, it was very fluid.
No, because even like when Swerve kept trying to get in, Ricky Starks was like, nope, get out. Like he tried to get in a few times. I love like the spot where Starks got thrown into the post, does his little under the bottom turnbuckle rebound clothesline. Cool. He ducks because Swerve's come in and he just does the flip over him and he goes, nah, bang into the barricade. Like, just that spot alone was just, I literally was clapping like a seal to myself, like watching it. I was making noises, clapping, like, and then Starks just hops up on the apron, does his pose, it's all so good, man.
And the thing is, I'm most excited for is that you've got the big men, and they're not just big men; they're athletic big men. And my favorite encounter is actually going to be Luchasaurus and Keith Lee, because I know them two are going to be like, well, who's going to out athletic each other?
Yeah, we're gonna see the over under, like the leapfrog spots, like the.
Oh my God, I can't wait for this. I actually can't wait for this.
And we finally saw a tope from Keith Lee. Like, I know I'm a bit on the fence with it, but when he like saves them and just delivers them like on a go home show, like that's how to do it. And it looked pretty safe, to be fair. He's
good. He's definitely going to hit a moonsault on. I don't want to see a tope, but I want to see a moonsault. Yeah. I want to see a moonsault for sure.
Yeah, going for the pay-per-view match, Gigi, you said the Team Taz guys. I think I'm going with the Team Taz guys as well. I just think it's more than due. They have done what they needed to do. They've left the dungeon of Rampage. They've made it to prime time of Dynamite, and they've proved that they deserve to be here. And yeah, their time has come. So I'm going with them for the win. What about yourself, NK?
Definitely Team Taz. I feel like Ricky has really proved, like, even listen to the reaction that Ricky's getting. I think Ricky's been like the star of this feud. And I feel like it's time that he deserves some sort of gold. And if it's not TNT, the tag team titles are more than suffice for now. So definitely, obviously, like, Swerve and Lee deserve something as well. But Ricky right now, it's his time, man. He's hot right now. So definitely Ricky and Hobbs for the win, man.
Cool. So we're all in agreement there. Just before, obviously, we're still a bit finding out about the Owen Hart tournament. So we know Adam Cole, Samoa Joe is going to make up the men's final. Quickly, who do we think is going to come out on top? I guess I'm going to go with Adam Cole. What do you guys think?
Adam.
It's going to be Adam, but can I just say how happy I am? Like, I'm honestly gleaming. Like, Samoa Joe has made it to the final of this tournament. Like he is my guy. Like, he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And like, to see him, like, I will turn a blind eye to any booking decisions if it means Joe is going to win matches. And like, to see him main eventing TV and putting on a solid match with Kyle O'Reilly, like, it wasn't amazing but it was solid, very good match. Like, I almost want to like say I predict Joe because I want it so bad, but it's going to be Adam Cole, and I think it's going to perfectly play into what you were saying last week, Mex.
Yeah, but for what I will say is Joe feels like he's feeling like Joe again. He's slowly beginning to really wrestle again.
Yeah.
Did you see the forearm he gave Kyle O'Reilly on the outside when he got running over? Yeah. Oh my God.
I owe Samoa Joe an apology. I was one of the main proponents saying that he was finished. Like, I was somebody, even if you look, spoilers for Friday's episode of wrestling, like, I wasn't too kind to him. And I wasn't, not saying that he was putting on bad performances, but I wasn't impressed. Like, the Suzuki performance after the first 5 minutes, questionable. Yeah. The John Morrison one, And then I had a few other matches that have been okay, but I feel like this Kyle O'Reilly match, I think we always say styles makes fights, and I feel like this complement each other well, and big up to Kyle O'Reilly as well. But I just felt like, even though like he's never gonna move the way he used to move, but he felt like Joe again. He didn't feel like he was like, because sometimes like in these matches, Joe would be gasping for air, panting. Like, I'll always go back to that Karrion Kross match in NXT, and it was like, oosh. But I just felt like, Joe felt like Joe felt like Joe again. And I'm like, do you know what? Nah, I'm actually excited to see what you can do. I'm not fully 100% sold yet that, Joe's back. But you know what? Like, you've earned you've gotten the benefit of the doubt from me, especially after that performance last night. I was like, you know what? That was a good match. Why not? Be on the pay-per-view.
I will say, though, he was looking hella sweaty within like 30 seconds.
Oh, 100%.
So it raises this question to me. Who do you think sweats more in the ring? Shane O'Mac or Samoa Joe? Comment down below, guys. Who do you think sweats more? I don't know, bruv. Shane O sweats bare. He sweats.
But Shane sweats after after at least after when Shane sweats, he dived off a building or something. Yeah. Like it warrants
he's sweating from fear.
It warrants the sweat.
And with Shane, I guess you could always put it down to like production value of WWE, lights everywhere, and them lights are probably very hot and all. But Joe is obviously a big guy, like, so any little action will cause him to sweat. So I'm going with Sweaty Joe. But yeah, I think we all say Adam Cole for the win, and then in the women's side, we know Britt Baker's reached the final, so the semi is out of Statlander and what's her face, Ruby Soho. Firstly, who do we think is going to make the final, and then who we think is going to take home the spoils, everything?
Statlander, because I think on Dynamite, I think Tony Schiavone had a segment with Ruby Soho. A segment that didn't end in an interruption. Congratulations, AEW. Well done.
But wait, she interrupted someone, didn't she? She interrupted...
Kind of, but it was
Red Velvet. Yeah.
Kind of, but at least it didn't end in a pull-apart brawl. I hate you. It was more so like sportsmanship. Here you go, but cool. Ruby Soho said that I beat Statlander in the TBS tournament, but now this is a whole new improved Statlander. But so I feel like they're gonna even up the score. Statlander's gonna beat Soho, and I feel like Statlander should beat Britt Baker at Double or Nothing. I was still against Baker winning, but if it means that Statlander goes over Britt at Double or Nothing, that makes sense to me, because Britt's a former champion. Britt's somebody that is very much in the top ranks of the women's division, and if Statlander goes over her, it makes it believable that she could be a TBS champion that's out there. I don't know who the TBS champion is, but somebody who's out there.
What do you think, Gigi?
This one's hard to call, man. I'm with you with Statlander because they seem to be kind of refreshing her and refreshing her character. But I don't know, man. So have Statlander and Britt faced off since Statlander's come back? Because Statlander was injured at the hands of Britt, wasn't she?
I don't think they.
I don't think so. No.
Since, no.
So that obviously ties into it. But I'm kind of sold on what Mex was saying last week, man. Like, I want the power couple now. I want them both to win. Like, I honestly do. Like, I think it's best for business There, I said it. I like the image of it. I like the fact that they can just talk shit and be like, well, we both won the Owen. Like we're untouchable, and I'd like to see them on screen together a bit more. Like I think that would be good.
And I think it gives potentially Sammy and Tay Conti something to do if they are here arguing for power couple stuff.
Hey, like, you know what though? Adam Cole versus Sammy, like that's got
could
the
be a good
potential
match.
to be a very good match. Like,
but the problem, no.
AK's face. AK looks like he smelled something that smells real bad.
No, and the problem is they're gonna try to get, unless you turn Adam Cole face, which is not the vibe. You're going to end up with this Scorpio Sky situation again, where we're going to be cheering the heels. You're going to be cheering the heels again. And Sammy and Tay, listen, I don't know if you saw the most recent interview. So I don't know what platform it was on, but Sammy wasn't going to bring that up. Yeah, Sammy wasn't pleased with the crowd's reaction of him and Tay. Which listen, protect your missus. I understand, but at the end of the day, this is your relationship is affecting my entertainment. And if it's affecting my entertainment, I'm going to comment on that. You as a couple, God bless you lot. But you as a on-screen duo, it's not working for me. I don't want it on my screen. Keep that on the vlogs.
It would work though. It's just the booking of it. Like if they literally just went full pelt, did it with their chest, right? We're heels. We don't care what you lot think about us. We're gonna keep lipsing in the ring, and do you know what I mean? And you have a good baby face for them to come up against. That's not Scorpio Sky, who is not a baby face really anyway. Was for a week. Like that's the whole problem. Like if they just separated them from the TNT stuff and booked it right and push them as heels like they should be, I think it will be so good. But it's the booking that's the problem.
This is Jericho Appreciation Society Sports Entertainment.
It is a bit. There is a bit of it there. Like I said last week, that's what I thought was going to happen in terms of Britt Baker. So Adam Cole and Britt Baker could stand together. I'm actually going to change my tune, change my prediction. I'm going to go with Statlander, like you said, NK, because I do think they are warming her up for Jade Cargill. And yeah, they need to build her somewhat, make her seem credible, give her a big win before Jade. So yeah.
I see how it is. I was backing you. I thought we was on a little side there, but yeah, cool.
I mean, like I said, that was last week. But things have evolved.
Oh, it's all changed.
Things have evolved.
Plans change.
Yeah, you spoke about JAS, so let's look at the match there in next. The Jericho Appreciation Society versus John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Santana Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston in an Anarchy in the Arena match. This is basically Stadium Stampede with a roof on inside the arena, I guess.
And not pre-recorded, yeah.
Yeah, not pre-recorded. I don't mind it. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be whatever it is. In terms of who's winning, I think the team Moxley, team Blackpool Combat Club. What do you guys think?
I'm not invested first and foremost. I think Jericho. I think Jericho Appreciation Society will win simply because I don't think this is the end, and I think that this will be the blood and guts match they eventually do at some point in time. I think this will be like a blood and guts match. So it'll kind of pan out similar to how, well, in reverse to how MJF did. MJF Pinnacle versus Inner Circle. I think they did blood and guts first, then Stadium Stampede. Yeah. So I think it'll be like the reverse, where Stadium Stampede will come first, and then blood and guts will come next. But this feud, I'm not invested. I do not care for Jericho Appreciation Society in the slightest. So
they're doing something right.
No, but it's like,
I love that one.
It's not even like heel heat. It's like, I don't want to see you lose. I just don't want to see you.
Yeah,
difference. It's like people. MJF, I want to see him lose. I want to see we're gonna get to that, but this I just don't want to see none of these, man. None of them.
What are you saying, Gigi?
I think it makes sense what NK is saying about Jericho's clique winning, but I just have this feeling that Mox and that lot win. I don't know. They're newly formed, as are Jericho and that, but they're just heels, isn't it? I don't know. I think NK's making sense, but I could see the BCC winning. Can I just ask a question as well? Why have we not seen Jake Hager versus Danielson yet? Like they had a little interaction like during the like schmoz at the end of this match. Like, and I thought, what a perfect match you could have put on. Hager doesn't wrestle, like he probably hasn't even wrestled in a year, probably. Like
Probably not.
It's been a
since the last,
while.
like, yeah, since the last like
Been a
big
while.
gang brawl. Like, why wouldn't they just do Danielson versus Hager, like in the build to this, instead of all this nonsense and William Regal whispering down the mic for 20 minutes, like whenever it was. But yeah, I reckon Moxley's crew are gonna win.
Cool. Yeah, it's looking that way. So we'll see. Now, one match that I think we spoke about this last week, NXT build, but the match is gonna be proper. That's gonna be Death Triangle versus House of Black. There was
This
nothing
is my pick. This
on
is my pick
Dynamite.
for match of the night.
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing on Dynamite. Maybe they have some type of
Rampage.
segment on Rampage on Friday. But yeah, even amongst the build they have done for this match, I'm not invested. But like we said last week, I'm sure the action is going to be next to none. NK already said this will probably be match of the night. What's your thoughts on who's going to come out on top?
House. I think House of Black should win. We've seen literally at least we've seen Ray Phoenix and Penta do stuff on Dynamite. I haven't seen Buddy Murphy do anything. I haven't seen and it's so weird because like when House of Black, when it was just Alistar and Brody, they were doing hella tag team matches. Like we thought they were gonna be in the tag division. But cool, yeah, I think House of Black need this win to do what, I have no idea. But Death Triangle win or lose. They're one of those acts where I think they can take a loss and we can see them next week and we won't care. Like they're over. Phoenix is over. Penta's over. Pac's over. But House of Black are a new act. So they need this. Obviously the performance will be amazing. I have no doubt in that. But they need some sort of momentum coming out of Double or Nothing. So House of Black for me.
Gigi, what do you think?
Has Buddy Matthews even had a singles match since his?
Nope.
Like, I don't know if that's a good or a bad. It's not a great thing. But
That's a terrible thing.
There's so many matches like for him. So many. I'm with NK. I think House of Black, newly formed team, they need to obviously establish themselves that they are a threat, especially in this trios division that's soon to come. I think it's a shame that, we haven't seen Death Triangle a lot, and I'm a big fan of them. So it's a shame that they are probably going to take the loss here. And my ideal scenario is that we just get rid of all this stuff and we just start Penta Phoenix feud at some point soon, please. Like, the world needs more of it. So I hope we're going to get there at some point, especially now they've kind of gone black and white. I hope there's seeds being planted towards, and then give Pac the TNT belt or whatever it is. But yeah, House of Black for the win.
Wouldn't be a bad idea what you just said. Yeah, I think you guys have kind of made my mind up for me because I'm not invested story-wise. I'm invested in seeing all of these men in the ring because I know they'll put on a great match. But yeah, it makes sense. Let's establish House of Black. Let's give them the win. Another match that's it's been a slow burn in terms of how they put it together and things like that. We've got the Bucks versus the Hardys. There was a good promo, I guess, between the Hardys kind of hyping up the match in terms of the quality of the promo and stuff. I think it definitely dropped when Jeff took to the mic and Matt was carrying it. But yeah, this is just like a dream match. So it's like they've just banged it on the card without any real builds. Obviously, there's been a lot of backstage segments between these guys. NK, what's your thoughts on this build and who's going to come out on top of this match?
This is the coldest the Young Bucks have ever been on AEW. This is the coldest they've ever been in AEW. Like, Young Bucks are my favorite tag team of all time. I don't care. What the Hardys are tired. This one, I'm not taking it back. They're tired. They need to sleep. They're tired. And the Young, like, it's like, this isn't even the match or bang booking. This is just, like two teams that define the generation going at it. And it's like, I don't even think the match will be that good, to be honest. I don't trust the Hardys in 2022. I think the Hardys will win. But if this was a ladder match or something, I would have been more invested. But then Jeff would have done something stupid. So.
I was just about to say, I'm kind of surprised they haven't added a stipulation to this match to make it some type of gimmick match, like
in a singles match. Ew, like no.
So you reckon the Hardys? GG, what do you think?
I'm just glad this is going to be over and done with, man. Like, honestly.
We hope.
Oh, don't say that, man. I just want them to come in, do this little job, whatever they're going to do for the Bucks, and just be on their way. But it's not even going to be that, is it? The Hardys are going to win, man, and carry on.
They said they would have gone for the tag titles.
I hate everything about this. I hated their segment. Jeff cannot cut a promo to save his life. Like, he can't. And Matt's the same. Like, Matt tries a few taglines here and there, and he's just tired. I'm tired.
Matt was all right.
Yeah, I think on Dynamite, Matt was all right. And then when it was time for Jeff to speak, yeah, it fell apart.
And do you know what I can't stand? Where people do that about themselves. Like, Jeff does it, Sammy does it. Like, I'm crazy. Yeah, we know, mate. Calm down. Go to bed. I guess the Hardys go over, and I'm not happy about it.
We will see. But yeah, definitely something they've just kind of thrown together. So next up, we have, well, to be honest, something that's probably a bit been thrown together as well in terms of the TBS Championship picture. Jade Cargill, the champion, defending against Anna Jay. Again, this feels like something, well, they did just kind of put this together off the back of last week or Rampage, where Anna Jay took the crutch from Sterling to come and run to the defense of Statlander, and Jay just threw out the challenge, I guess, to get herself on the card. That's pretty much what they wanted to do. These guys met back in January, I think. Or was it January? Or sometime earlier this year?
January, February. No, yeah. January. Definitely January.
Yeah. And it was a really good match. I would argue it's probably Jade Cargill's best match that she's had. But just in terms of how they've kind of put this together and everywhere with it, I think we're probably unanimous in Jade is going to retain, right?
Yeah. I will say this, though. They did have a good vignette on Dynamite. The vignette was nice.
Yeah. They did a good job in kind of pushing the story along. But those of us that watched Rampage, like, I can imagine for all the people that don't watch Rampage, they showed us how we got to this point, but it's like, is that it now to get a title match?
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Yeah, 100%.
But then, like, that is all true. But then, can we just say that, like, it is smart booking in terms of if that was Jade's best match, you want her at the pay-per-view, right? Who do we put up against? She did a good job against Anna Jay, but it is just a journey. Like, was this an afterthought? Why have we waited till a week before to give Jade a match? Was she not going to be on the
Marina Shafir get more build in this? I ain't seen Marina Shafir since.
I wonder why.
That match was poo. But and I don't. No. But
the thing is with I have no issues with them running it back with Anna Jay. Like you said, it's smart, makes sense. Jade's best opponent. Blah blah blah. If they knew this is what they were going to do, you would have been giving Anna Jay a couple wins, just slyly, at least featuring her. I don't even know before this when the last time I saw Anna Jay on TV.
You could have solved this with an easy segment. After Jade squashed someone, post-match being like, listen, Anna Jay comes out, cuts a promo saying, I want a title shot because I pushed you to the limit. You know, typical wrestling cliches. I pushed you to the limit in the TBS tournament. I'm the only person that struck fear in you. And then Jay can be like, bet, cool, Double or Nothing, meet me there, simples.
Yeah.
And
Done.
you can have 2-3 weeks build because you could have had Anna Jay facing the baddies one-on-one for a couple of weeks, or at least a week, Rampage Dynamite, which makes me, which I don't know if maybe I'm giving Tony too much credit, but that's what makes me kind of think, was it the case that this was a last-minute decision? Was there
That's
another person touted for Jade? So that's the only thing that
I think this was last minute. I think maybe someone else was the plan, that person fell through, whoever it was, and they just plucked Anna.
I think they had a meeting before pay-per-view and said, this is the card. And then one of the investors said, where's Jade? And he said, you're right. Put on the card.
Yeah, 100%.
This one's for all.
And then you chuck with Anna Jay just for all the HMAs out there, man. I see you out there.
All the HMAs. SDK08, he says AEW's women's division sucks dick. Yeah, man. It's, you know what? I was, by the end of Dynamite, I was happy that there's 3 women's matches on this card. Progression. However, if we look at the build for one's a tournament match, which makes sense, cool. But the other 2, it's been lacking. And for them to be championship matches as well, not even just like regular feuds. Yeah, a lot needs to be still worked on. But let's talk about one of the best built stories so far going into this pay-per-view. MJF versus Wardlow. I mean, the stuff that these guys have done to this point has been brilliant. They found a way, to kind of stretch this story, but at each chapter, it's made total sense. Last night on Dynamite, we saw the cage match between Wardlow and Sean Spears. And you know what? Shout out Sean Spears. Because when they put this guy in the Pinnacle, I said, if this guy don't bang here in the Pinnacle, then he's done out. Like, that is it. And I feel like, although the Pinnacle's kind of not even officially separated, but they've all kind of gone their own ways, and Sean Spears is stuck with MJF, this guy has done really, really strong work in just being this kind of slimy sidekick to the slimy leader, if you like. He's had this cage match with Wardlow. MJF has purposely left Wardlow in his handcuffs to start the match. Sean Spears gets a jump on him and all of that.
But wait, sorry, like it was the mirror of the spot where Wardlow was looking for the
looking for the ring. Yeah.
Detail. Love
all that stuff. Then eventually Wardlow just uses his strength, breaks free. And then that's when them two know, that this is a wrap sort of thing. There's so much good action in here. Of course, MJF still getting involved, low blowing Wardlow, not counting at times and stuff like that. The headshot from the chair shot that MJF took was mad. I didn't think that I'm going to see another headshot on AEW. Like, listen, I know we have to start protecting ourselves and stuff, but I'm here for blood and I'm here for real chair shots. I can't.
But if you saw the way the chair crumpled, the chair was definitely gimmicked.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see the chair. Definitely gimmicked, but there was amazing chair shot nonetheless.
But then that's a good way to do it. Then that's the best of both worlds. So I'm cool with that. And then obviously he got his powerbomb symphonies in on Sean Spears. Sean Spears sold it perfectly, turning around. He knew that was it. The camera work, Wardlow standing up behind him. All of that was brilliant. Powerbomb symphonies. We saw Bryce Rimsberg run down to the ring. Referee done the count. So that's Sean Spears done, and Wardlow's now got his match with Wardlow's now got his match with MJF. And then, of course, the security come in like they have been doing, trying to wrap him back up one by one, like knocking him down like bowling pins. MJF finds a way to escape. MJF sell for those chair shot.
I loved him just like trying to creep out past like all the security guards coming in. I just loved that.
Yeah, man, just brilliant match. Really good segment, just a very good story, well told. And obviously we're going into the pay-per-view now. Wardlow has got what he wanted in a match with MJF to free him from that contract. I'm going with a Wardlow win. I do kind of think it should be a squash. I think that MGF should try to long out the match, do all the usual tactics, jump out the ring, jump in again, try to buy time, try to run away, all this kind of nonsense. But then once the match kind of begins and Wardlow gets his hand on him, I don't think it should necessarily last too long. What's you guys' thoughts on that? And what do you think? Who do you think will come out on top?
I think Wardlow should definitely win. I agree with you that that's what I want to happen. What I think will happen is more shenanigans. Sean Spears coming in, and then eventually, what I would love if you're gonna do shenanigans, what I would love is do Roman Reigns WrestleMania, stack them and pin them both. Just if you're gonna have Sean Spears there, like doing shenanigans, that's fine. Powerbomb Symphony, just stack both of them, foot on top of both of them.
That stand, one leg on each man.
Yes, yeah, gas. But even I can't that shot of Wardlow on top of the cage.
Yeah,
I was like, this is the second time I'm gonna ask this question with MJF. Is this feud of the year? Because he just like, yeah. When it comes to rest, yeah.
But it's the perfect example of booking backwards. And that's what they've constantly done with MJF. Like the MJF CM Punk dog collar stuff, you can tell they knew the destination, months before. Same way with Wardlow MJF. They knew, like, obviously we all knew that it was heading there, but it's the perfect example of booking backwards and going, right, this is where we're heading. Now fill up each week of TV with good stuff. And that's exactly what they've done.
This is how I agree, and this is how things should be booked. So why is it not done across the board, especially like in the women's division?
Because TK has too. You see, TK has too much on his time, too much time on his hands. He's got his hands are everywhere. This is what you need: advisors. You need people that do different things. You can't own AEW, ROH, Jaguars, Fulham FC, all of that. My guy. Divide your time wisely. Have people there that will listen. Obviously, oversee everything. But we've seen from TK in interviews that he wants to be creative control everything. Of course, he lets talent express themselves. And that's the benefit of AEW. But come on, like you can. And what happens is that you end up creating a hierarchy of MJF is a guy that he's had stocks in since the beginning. So the important guys will shine. The guys, your champion will always get, your heavyweight champion will always get shine. CM Punk will always get time. MJF will always get time. But the people who actually need the most time, people who haven't even convinced you, don't get the time from you that they actually need, which results in a massive disparity in quality because the guys that you want to push will get pushed. The guys that maybe need as much time, you don't have time for them, therefore you neglect them.
Yeah. It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. But yeah, this story has been proper.
Do you think this is the climax of this feud? Because that's where I'm struggling with a prediction.
I feel like MJF needs to move on from this, and both of them need to, because I feel like MJF right now he's lost 2 big matches. Well, he's lost one, and I think he has to lose this one. I feel like the MJF redemption in terms of like him getting back to like the top of the card needs to happen, and I think Wardlow go and scatter that TNT division, scatter it, scatter that division.
I think this story needs to end here. It's a perfect place for it to end, and of course with the story of Wardlow escaping his contract from his master, it's just it's amazing. We have to realize how long this story's been going on. Yeah, the ring thing happened in February, which is even still 3 months ago. But this story has started before then of the descent and stuff. So let's not kill it.
It's like a 2-3 year, like a 2-year storyline.
I mean, I'm from when the descent began. It's maybe been about 9 months or something.
Yeah.
But of course, these guys have been together from day one, sort of thing. So
and that was always the way it was going to go. So the seeds were always. My prediction, I think, is Wardlow as well, but only because, and this has just entered my head, just so that Wardlow has that win over MJF. So when MJF does hold this title,
Big
he's
gold.
got claim, and when they, face off again. But I honestly, I wouldn't even be disappointed if MJF winning here. Like, it wouldn't sour me. I think Wardlow is probably going to win, but either way, I think it will be good.
I don't see a way that
MJF
Wardlow can
wins.
lose. Yeah, if Wardlow loses this match, I don't know how he necessarily
because it's going to keep his fire, and he's still going to want MJF, and he's going to have a longer wait this time, and maybe do madness in the TNT division to keep him tied over.
Even CM Punk getting a win over Wardlow, it rattled me. I can't lie, it rattled me a bit just because of how well he's been booked.
Yeah.
So I'm just not sure if that's the right thing to do. I understand your thinking behind it. I just don't know if it's the right thing to do. Like,
and I don't want an MJF Wardlow's. I don't want a series. Like, this doesn't deserve a series. This is one this is because if you think about all and I feel like this would be a great contrast to Cody, because Cody went through the labors of MJF and he still lost. I feel like, and Wardlow's literally, if you look at the feud, he's been the reverse of Cody. Cody took the 10 lashes, was in pain. Wardlow's walked through this like a cake walk because he's a bad man. And now he'll get to the pay-per-view and he needs to walk through MJF and then go about his business elsewhere. I feel like, and plus it's like, if Wardlow loses, he doesn't have a contract. So how is he going to be on AEW? And then you got to justify why he's on. It just creates more problems for yourself.
Yeah,
it creates more problems for yourself. So it's like Wardlow done NJF's dance and then go and be the face of the revolution.
Just like, on that Cody point quickly, like Wardlow being the one at the top of the cage at the end of the match as well, that kind of mirrors that kind of thing. Yeah. I would have loved to have seen him do a moonsault off the cage just to nail it in. That would have been nice.
Even the Swanton bomb,
he missed
it. But you know what? I think that's intentional because he lands on Sean Spears.
It's done.
Yeah. No, but it was a very good match, very good segment. I'm looking forward to this. But yeah, I think this is the end of the line for this story. Next up, or I guess what we'll call could be like next up, Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb. Another story where like they just haven't really made us as an audience care. Another match where they probably put on, a half decent, pretty good match, because both women are more than capable. In the go home show, no sign of Serena Deeb, not even on a backstage vignette or nothing. But we got Thunder Rosa come out and she cut a promo alongside Tony Schiavone, no face paint. And it was almost like, yeah, I'm here. This is me. Accept me for who I am. And you've disrespected me and Tony and Dustin, my coach. And she was really fired up. I felt like the promo was good. I think this is maybe where she does more of her best stuff, where just her on her own, she can kind of get her Spanish intonation and stuff off as well at the same time, and just kind of come with that fiery passion. She said on the weekend at Double or Nothing, you'll see the face paint on and the war paint, as she called it, and she'll be kind of ready to go. And I believe she's going to defend the championship. I don't think there's going to be a change here. But just leading into this, like I feel like they maybe took too long of how best to tell this story, how best to put these two women together. Like, this was a good way to do it. Thunder on her own, maybe Serena on her own in a backstage segment would be better. Or like with one of those sit-down JR interviews. They just fumbled this entire story from day one. Now, again, we don't have a real story that we're invested in, but I think the match would be good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like this is probably the best segment that's happened in this entire thing. I thought Thunder Rosa came across very well, and I was like, I left the segment thinking, why couldn't we have just more of it? I feel like sometimes AEW that's to overcomplicate things. Thunder Rosa is a great promo. In terms of like she's great at communicating passion, and for me, it was just like, what have we done for these past couple of? I still, even if that promo was good, even when that promo was good, I was like, what's the story aside from D being number one contender? Like, I don't get it. So I get like, and with the women's division, like we're beating the dead horse in terms of saying it needs improvement, but it's like it's right. The thing that's most frustrating is that sometimes when we criticize the women's division, we sometimes go into saying the women's division is bad or the women's division, and I've been a victim of this as well. And it's like the women's division perception is reality. So if we think the division being booked poorly, that starts to reflect on the talent. We start thinking, oh, these people can't cut promos, these people aren't good.
Yeah.
When in actuality, it might not be as talented as WWE's women's division, but there's a lot of capable women in this division. But let them go out and do things. Let them go out and work. Let them go out and excel at what they're good at. Because with Deeb, the build to her being number one contender was fine. With the vignettes of her doing submissions, you could have easily done Deeb do vignettes of Thunder Rosa. I'm gonna put you in this submission. I'm gonna put you in that. I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna do that.
I like it.
That's a really good idea. Almost like, remember when Taz was doing those, like Taz's little breakdowns of moves and stuff. So something along those lines. Yeah, that could have worked.
Yeah, because they were doing that with her anyways during during her ascension to becoming number one contender. So I'm like, why can't you just replicate that, take that, and then put that in the title perspective? This is why I'm better than you, because I've got 1,000 different submissions.
You could have even had her on commentary for a Thunder Rosa match, like rehashing that point and being like, she should have done this if her arms exposed here. Do you know what I mean? And really like making her the professor. And like, or you could have even just had her next to a board and gone, right, this is what you've done wrong, Thunder. Like, analyze it.
Professor
like, I'm the
D.
professor, exactly.
Professor
But again,
D.
it's the prime example, I think, of what we've said. Was this the destination? If it was, they could have booked backwards. The whole Serena making the point of, I had to do this and that, and then Thunder Rosa rebuttaling it this week. That should have been the start of this. Do you know what I mean? You build from there. You could have, and then you could have had what NK said about the segments or whatever you do with it. But that should have been the start of this. I'm complaining I had to do this and this. Thunder's like, well, you're not a champion. You didn't have to ret-a-tear. But I think it was such a better promo from Thunder this week, so I was glad to see it. But I think there still needed to be a bit more of that fire, a bit more of that passion, because I think that's when she's at her best. I know you need to build to it somewhat, so there is that crescendo. But I wanted to see a bit more of just her just going ill at the camera, just spewing from the mouth, like just Spanish and just really just going off on one. Like I don't think the build's been great, but this is another match I don't know why, but I'm very excited for. I love Serena Deeb, and I think the match is going to be so good that I'm sort of turning a blind eye to the rest of it just because I think the match itself will deliver. Not a blind eye, but I can kind of push it to one side for my enjoyment's sake,
I think it is definitely going to deliver. SDK08 says the thing is, even though the story is just her being number one contender, there's a lot of things AEW could lean on anyways. They were rivals in NWA that they could have spoken about. I'm sure who beat who for the NWA title? Because they faced each other for it.
She must have beat Thunder because Serena had it for a bit, didn't she?
Yeah, so...
Or was it...
No, I think Thunder beat Deeb. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. But they have come against each other before for that title. So yeah, that is something they could have brought into the story. I forgot to mention last week that there was some statistic going around that until last week, since he's become champion, which I think was 2 weeks after Revolution, that Thunder Rosa had only been on TV for a collective 20 minutes since February, which is it's a mad thing. It's like compared to, if you just compare that in isolation to Britt Baker as champion and how she was literally just thrown out there every week to basically carry this division sort of thing.
Compared to Jade.
Yeah, even Jade now, she's getting way more TV time on a more consistent basis than Thunder Rosa is. But like Gigi saying, we think there will be a good match. NK, you said Thunder Rosa to retain. Gigi, what are you saying?
I'm gonna back my girl Deeb. I want her to win the title, so I'm gonna predict it. So it shall be. I hope. Like I want a heel with Serena with the strap just tearing limbs off. That's what I would like to happen. So I'm gonna back her. Let's do it, Deeb.
Okay, let's go for it.
Who did you say? Thunder as well.
Thunder Rosa. Yeah, I think Thunder Rosa. Right. Let's talk about it. The main event, Hangman Adam Page defended the AEW World Championship against CM Punk. So they had their face-to-face this past week. CM Punk. I was saying this earlier today to Gareth, big up Gareth on Twitter. I just said, yeah, he's a bit of a prick, isn't it? He's just acting just a bit prickish here and there. But he's just saying, I don't know why you're angry. This is just business. I'm the number one contender. I had to face you. Like, yeah, literally stirring it up. And Hangman can almost see through this facade, and it's like his annoyance is more like, how can't the rest of you lot see that this guy is, you know,
full of it?
He's pricking me off, sort of thing. Like, Hangman's very angry. He's almost slipping back into this anxious millennial cowboy that it seemed that he had shaken off since the beginning of his title reign. And there was a very interesting line in this, which totally changed my prediction. Before this match, I was predicting CM Punk is going to take the title. I now think Hangman Page is going to retain, because the interesting line I'm talking about is Hangman said, I'm no longer just defending this title against you. I'm defending AEW against you. And I thought, okay, that's a very powerful line in isolation, which I don't think a feud ends on. So I think post Double or Nothing, there's going to be more of Hangman versus Page. Maybe that's when Punk will take the title from Page. But I just felt that line seemed very specific. Like I said, alluding to Page is maybe seeing something that in terms of behavior that Punk is putting out there that maybe we all can't see yet. And that's why he wants to almost defend AEW against this man from the outside, basically, being an AEW original. So really good segment, really effective segment. Even CM Punk almost cockiness when, you know, Page struck him and knocked him down. I'm going with Hangman Page to retain. What are you lot thinking?
I've noticed, even with the Adam Cole feud, obviously it was warranted because he felt, you know, backstabbed by Adam Cole. But Page has been quite unhinged since that Adam Cole feud. Like, if you go back to that feud, like, Page has been angry since that feud, and I thought that and obviously like Mex has brought up, you know, I think other people in AEW, whether it's been Kingston, as when others have kind of seen through, and even MJF to a certain point had a few valid points about Punk in terms of.
Let me just, because someone tweeted earlier your exact point. So CM Punk, I'm an arsehole. Eddie Kingston, arsehole. MJF, Punk is an arsehole. Hangman, Punk is an arsehole. Fans, wait, what's Hangman talking about? Like, that's the reaction we've had. Everyone's spotlighted, but when Hangman mentions it, everyone's a bit like.
I think it's because with Hangman, it's like with the other people, there's been some sort of history there. Part of MJF, that's my idol. Kingston, that's my idol, and I can't remember the other person you mentioned. But with Hangman, he's just off the rip. He's like, I don't like this guy. It's like it's like, for example, if you're in the friendship group, and you bring a new person to the friendship group, and one of your boys like, I don't like him. Why? I just don't like him. I just don't like him.
Bad vibes.
He's bad vibes. That's what Hangman is. He's bad vibes. But I feel like
let me just interrupt you there. Sorry, NK. There's something you said about, obviously, he's been unhinged maybe for a minute now.
Yeah.
Not just in this Punk feud.
Yeah.
Since Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Obviously, Adam Cole, big name. Punk, big name. Do we think that maybe AEW are trying to portray Hangman, that maybe he's got a complex? Because he is a champion, yes, but he's not like a big name like these guys, Adam Cole and Punk. So is this like a complex, like, okay, I'm champion, but maybe I'm not getting the respect around here, sort of thing, like these guys are coming up against me?
Yeah, my spotlight's being threatened. Almost,
yes,
isn't it?
Yeah, like, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like definitely so, and I feel like it's now I don't know, and also I feel like Hangman Page, like he kind of feels insulted when Punk's like, I respect you. He kind of feels insulted. It's like, no, like yo, stop trying to little man me. Like, no, like
that's exactly what it is.
I'm not that. Stop trying to little man me. I'm not your mate. Like, I'm the champion. Or even said it, I'm the AEW champ.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the AEW champ. Like, everyone's walking. I don't like the fact that everyone thinks that you're higher than me. I'm the champion. Who are you? I don't care if you drew this much money on pay-per-view.
And then it's Punk being like, "What are you crying for, man? Why are you crying for?" Like,
Why
you know,
take
if
this
your boys,
personally?
if you know your boys do that to you, if you're a bit like annoyed about, it, what are you crying for? He's like, I'm not crying, man. I'm the champion, bruv. What?
Perfect. That's literally it.
Nah, man. Yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, positive or negative. Like, Hangman, he's losing it, and he may not lose it today, but he will lose that time. This is the beginning of the end. Like,
Yes.
it's the beginning. This is the beginning of the end. It may not happen
I
at
agree.
Double Nothing, but something soon. He's losing it.
I agree. Gigi, what's your thoughts?
I really like Gareth's assessment on Twitter, man, and he's
What was his
convinced me
assessment?
that this is all leading to a CM Punk heel turn. That
Oh, hell yeah.
he's gonna show us what everyone's been telling us, that he really is an asshole and he's gonna do something. And I think there's no better way to do it than dethroning Hangman on the first shot. Like, I don't think you can. I think there could be mileage to the feud, but with Forbidden Door around the corner and potentially Punk Okada, Okada's not mentioned Hangman's name. He's mentioned Punk's name. He's mentioned Danielson's name. It's in Chicago. And I know, and then I think you can get away more so with, right, we're here to see Punk, but, he's a heel. We're going to boo him maybe. And Okada's the babyface savior, possibly. And I just think we're too close to Forbidden Door to have Hangman. I don't know what he does. I honestly see Okada Punk sitting on the top of that card, and I don't know. I see Hangman. There's matches I see him that will bang, but in terms of build and a marquee match, unfortunately, Hangman might have to sit on the bench just for a minute. Not on the bench necessarily, but sit aside just for a minute while CM Punk does this. And I would just love it, man. Shock the damn world. Like, even if you do CM Punk running out, doing the kiss, running out the crowd with the belt, like something like that, I would think.
I can't like you. You see me? I got triggered right now. I got so triggered.
Run it, yes.
Okay,
Picasso. He low blows Hangman GTS. Oh no, I'm gonna.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Like Gareth said the rest, I said that bit. So, that was my little bit. But he said about the coin dropping at the end, and we get the face off between Okada and Punk to end the show, which will be brilliant as well. I saw someone as well the other day. So Hangman or Punk wins, confetti's falling from the sky, picks it up. Oh, it's money. This isn't confetti. And you hear the coin drop. Like,
that's cold. That's cold as well.
That's cold.
The Okada dollars.
That's cold. But that's the thing. If we're seeing Okada,
somebody DM Tony now. DM now.
It's not too late.
No.
I'm looking at flights from Tokyo, bruv. I'm looking. But yeah, I think CM Punk, man. I think there's no better way if you're gonna turn him heel, shock the world, do it at Double or Nothing on the first shot at the title. And then he can really go, I built this place. I told you, man, you wouldn't be nothing without me. And now look at me. I'm holding the strap. I took down your savior, your hero, Hangman. And then why not? Let's have Hangman go on a downward spiral, start drinking again. Do you know what I mean? Let's have him, worrying and doing that whole thing again because it's within his nature. He's fallen off the wagon. Gives Dark Order something to do, possibly to build him back up. I don't know, but yeah, man, let's do it. CM Punk, let's do it.
Like I'm here for all of that. Book to perfection. I'm here for all of that. Like I said, apart from that segment in Dynamite last night where Hangman said what he said about AEW, I was convinced Punk is winning this title. This is the only thing that's planted the seed, and I thought, okay, I think Punk could still win, but maybe Hangman defends here. But like, I'm all for Punk winning this.
And I feel
But
like this is the first time in AEW, and this is what we've been craving for in wrestling in general. This is how title matches should feel. We should go into title matches debating, like tossing and turning, who is going to win, and not because it's been, and because both guys have every reason to win. And in AEW, we've said it's been predictable, but predictable in a good way, in the sense that the booking makes sense. We can track where things are going and so on and so forth. But good, and this is what we say about unpredictability. Unpredictability isn't hot shot in the title. Unpredictability is building two people that deserve to win. And obviously, you know, not to in wrestling in general, this is what we need. We need, when we say we want credible opponents for our champion, this is it. Someone you look at and be like, this guy can dethrone our champion like this, but at the same time, our champion can stand toe to toe with them, and it doesn't matter who wins. At the end of the day, whoever wins, the company's in good hands. And that's how you build your title matches.
100.
The only thing I just wanted to say, your point about I need to defend AEW from you, is that foreshadowing AEW New Japan as well? Like, I need to be the one to represent us as almost going forward as well. So there's possibly
the way
planted there.
Yeah, that could be the way he means it, interprets it. But yeah, even still, even with him saying that line, Punk can win and can turn to a bit of a dick, and then Hangman is basically like, I told you guys. Yeah. So it's like, and now I need to kind of wrestle back AEW from Punk, probably post Forbidden Door. So yeah, it's a good story, man.
And quick plug for your video and mine. So you did the CM Punk why he should win.
Yeah.
So make sure you check that out. It'll be somewhere here. You can find it. And then I've got a video asking the fans who they want to win. And of course, unpredictable. We're all kind of on either side of the fence. So make sure you check out both those videos before you make your educated decision.
I'm deep in it. I know you just said Okada. It makes so much sense. Double or Nothing, casino, chips, money.
All of it, bro. Make it rain, bro.
I'll make it rain. I'll make it rain.
Okada dollars
Get
coming
Fat Joe.
down.
Call Fat Joe up as well, man. Get Fat Joe in the building. Let's do it real. Let's do it properly.
Las Vegas. Let's go. Big up Lincoln. Lincoln says he's already heel in regards to Punk. Ola says we are not ready. Lincoln says when I saw that tweet, goosebumps. Yeah, it's a good way that, you know, that this pay-per-view is going to come to an end. That main event, like we said, we don't know where it's going to go. Again, there's the likelihood of New Japan invading in some way, shape, or form post the main event. And of course, like I say, we're exactly 1 month today out from Forbidden Door. So that is the predictions. It's certain matches. I think certain things we identified. The match at least is going to be very good, even if the story hasn't really been there. Some we're just not invested in, unfortunately. And there's, you know, matches like the Tag Team Championship, the main event being with the AEW World Championship that we're very much looking forward to. Any last words before we get out of here this week, guys?
I just want to say that if Okada turns up and I'm not like gonna see NK's reaction, I am gonna be so annoyed that we're not hooked on wrestling or something for this, because I want to see NK mark out, man. I want to see it.
No, the problem is, I can't even lie. Like, even if it doesn't show up at Forbidden Door, for the rest of the Dynamite, I might have to have a camera on me, because just
all time. It's CCTV. Okada cam.
It's going to happen. It's not if, it's when.
It's pending.
It is when it happens. Like,
that coin is slowly dropping from the sky, and we're about to hear it soon, man.
I know. Big up Hooked on Wrestling. Big up Hooked on Wrestling every time. But what I am happy I'm watching this at home, because I need to hear I can't.
The music,
I need
everything.
to hear I need to the quay. That's what I need to hear. I need to the
But do your neighbors need to hear you screaming at?
I don't give a monkey.
I'm gonna be the same.
No, 100%. This is gonna be special. And like you said, even if it's not on Sunday night, in the next 4 weeks,
It's
it
gonna
is
happen.
pending. It is pending. So yeah, gonna have to be on the edge of our seats for that one. Yeah, man, boys, thank you very much for coming through again. Just for everyone, I plan to do a review on Monday. I guess we'll sort out amongst ourselves timings and all that kind of stuff. So just kind of stay locked to our socials and everything. GG has a YouTube channel if you don't know, as well as NK on Rest Things. You can find all the information down below in the description. Make sure you subscribe. Check out their videos. I guess NK Rest Things podcast for this week is coming out tomorrow.
Yes,
We'll probably speak
tomorrow.
about this. And GG, like he said, he's got a video out on CM Punk versus Hangman, asking the people them what their thoughts are. So yeah, plenty of content between us going into this weekend. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Hit the like button, please, on your way out. Subscribe to all the channels mentioned. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.